Hey everyone, how you doing? We're back here with the DCPodcast. I know we've been in a hiatus, but now we're back. And what a better way than reintroduce our podcast than with Mr. Nic Sturdifen. Nic, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey, thanks for having me. Yes, Nic Sturdifen, president and team owner of the Burlington United FC soccer club that plays in the NPSL, the National Premier Soccer League. And I'm just excited to be here today and excited to be talking a little bit about the team and what we're bringing for Burlington and to Burlington and what we're trying to represent.
Awesome. So a lot of people still don't know what Burlington United or who Burlington United is or the NPSL. Could you give us a quick, just a quick loop on what it is?
Sure. So the NPSL is it's the fourth division, what we consider the fourth division or fourth tier in the American soccer system. So you have MLS and then USL Championship, USL 1, and then you have the fourth division, which is NPSL, and other leagues similar to it. But we chose the NPSL because of the professionalism. Players do. We have a vast alumni base that have played in NPSL that are now in the MLS and other places around the world. But it's a league that allows college students primarily, some former professionals, or some people who are in that process of going professional, and also local folks. There's a lot of local talent to come together to make a national competitive team. And what happens from that perspective is you get high quality talent. We play in the NPSL is the overall league, the National Premier Soccer League, and then we play within the Southeastern Conference. And so it's a shorter season, designed to be shorter because it's kind of a stepping stone, but it's the first division stepping stone for many clubs.
Okay.
And so you have a lot of clubs that have youth organizations and teams underneath it.
Nice.
And then the first division team is, their NPSL team. And so for us, that's what we have, the NPSL. And it's just really a neat thing. It allows, Burlington hasn't had anything like this, which is what was really important. And it just brings a high level of soccer to a city where I live, that I love, and represents a lot of the folks that live here, in a good way.
Yeah. And so we kind of have something similar here with baseball, right? With the sock puppets. They're also a summer league, mainly college students. Does that fit like around the same tier?
Similar, yes, similar. First of all, the sock puppet organization, great organization.
Yeah.
Anderson out there, the GM, great guy. Have been able to work with him and talk with him on some things, and so we're joining another organization that's great here in Burlington. They're very similar but different. Whereas the sock puppets, they play in the Appalachian League or the Appy League, and they're more regionalized. This is a national league, so we have our conference for soccer, Southeastern, but this is a national thing, so there will be a national championship as well.
Okay, and then the Southeast Conference, with the teams, is it just North Carolina or other states?
North Carolina, Tennessee, and North Carolina and Tennessee.
Okay, nice. And then I see the NPSL, it also has a bid for not a bid, but they can put teams in the U.S. Open Cup, right? So that opens up the door to playing with bigger teams from either the USL or MLS included as well.
Correct. So similar to the European FA Cup, we have the Lamar Open or the Lara Hunt or the Open Cup, U.S. Open Cup, and exactly what you said. They have a chance to square off against teams across the four divisions that I mentioned. So, if they make a run and let's say they get to the quarterfinal, they could realistically be facing an MLS team.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon. They will see USL 1 teams, USL Championship teams for sure. It's just really cool to see because you have local guys. Imagine you have that one high school kid that made the team, and he's on the same field with, MLS team or a USL Championship team. And so just the opportunity of that has been really, really exciting and fun to watch.
Yeah, and then talking about local guys, last week I was able to be there for your open tryouts. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah. So Burlington has a ton of talent.
Yeah.
A ton of local talent. And we've identified about 8 to 9 guys from that pool that we want to bring back and get a second look. There was 2 gentlemen that we offered outright right there, one of which is directly local from Burlington. So we'll be announcing him pretty soon, and that's a lot of fun. But the great turnout, we had 60 people come out, which was huge. Like I said before, I knew we could get there, but actually seeing it happen was pretty cool to see. And I was pretty proud of Burlington because not only did they show up, but they were ready to play and have some really good talent.
It was exciting. I went with my family. My kids even wanted to get out of school early so they could go to the tryouts. And just pulling in the parking lot. We see several kids that have played here at the Dream Center before. And several other kids that we know from the Burlington area. and that was exciting to see. And like I've mentioned to you earlier, it was exciting to see, coaches from the Alamus Burlington school system, coaches from BSE Fusion, stuff like that. So seeing everything come together, man, it's pretty cool. So just thank you for bringing that to Burlington.
Yeah. Thank you for coming out. Our boys hit it off and they had a great time playing soccer. It was just a beautiful thing about the community, right? And we got to see that day.
Cool. So my next question is, how did it all start? The vision of starting Burlington United. How did you get the idea from the idea to what it is now?
Sure. So prior to owning the soccer team or starting up the soccer team, we owned a collegiate summer league baseball team in High Point, which was like the sock puppets here, just in High Point. Great experience, learned a lot, but my ultimate goal was always to have a soccer team. At the time when we purchased the baseball team, there wasn't a soccer team available. And so that's why we went the baseball route and just kind of got to understanding sports management and getting that experience. But I've always loved soccer. From my father, who is a big advocate of the Dream Center and does things here. He was a military guy, and so when we were younger, he was stationed in the Netherlands and in Europe, and so that's where I really fell in love with soccer. Well, we called it football there, and we didn't say field, we called it pitch and things of that nature. But and so fell in love with it there. So from that point, I played growing all the way up. My son, he's doing really well. He's playing, and I said, I love where I live. I have a history of helping other communities and doing great things in other places except for where I live, and it just didn't make sense. And when I saw the opportunity to get a bid to have a team here in this market in Burlington, I said, this is what we need to go for. We love soccer. It'd be something great for my family and my sons, selfishly speaking, to be a part of. And then I knew there's a soccer culture here in Burlington that wasn't being tapped into. We have great soccer clubs. You have Fusion, you have the Burlington Parks and Rec, so there's good soccer there, but we didn't have that level of that next level that I think our community deserves, from the east end to the west end. And that was a big thing too. I wanted to bring this city together and represent the whole city from the east end to the west end and everything in between. There's great people, great residents, great culture that's here that I wanted to help provide a platform to represent. And here we are.
That's great, man. But yeah, like you said, there's definitely a lot of passion, for soccer here. It was either April or April before that, we had a soccer festival here. Here at the Dream Center, we have leagues for kids from between 4 all the way up to 16. And then we have an adult league. We've had a women's league before. We had a veterans league before. So we decided to host every championship on the same day. We had over 1,000 people here. Like, it was that whole hallway right there, all the way by the stage. It was just slam packed with people. And so that was great to see, because it was also at the time that we were doing a fundraiser for our kids to go to England. And so there's definitely the love, and we received that love when the boys won the national championship. We went to England, and we had to raise $80,000. But once the people saw, all right, those are our boys. They're local. They're from Burlington. We didn't really have a problem. I mean, it took a while, right? Because it's not going to be done from one day to the next. But everybody came together from West Burlington to East Burlington. Everybody came together, put the little grain of salt, and help the boys go. So I'm pretty sure you're not going to have a problem finding fans here at all.
Right. That's the hope.
Yeah. So that goes on to the next. So Burlington United. However, the games are not going to be played in Burlington for this season, right? They're going to be played at McPherson Stadium, which is a phenomenal facility. Can you walk us through that?
Sure. So obviously, and I had to really get past my own reservations, right, of not being able to play. And the reason is we announced the team and actually solidified the team about 4 months before the season starts, because it starts in May. Originally, we were looking at starting in the summer of 2026, but there was a lot of influence and encouragement to start early for this summer. So I said, okay, let's go for it. We knew how to do it because we've been in sports ownership with the baseball team. But with that lack of time, you go from an 18-month runway to a 4-month runway. Yeah. And it was just a lot to try to put together to get it this season opener, or the initial inaugural season here in Burlington. And so the next best thing was, okay, well, let's look at Bryant Park, which isn't far. It's not far at all. It's, like you said, it's probably one of the top playing facilities that's specifically dedicated to soccer in this region. And so, when I actually stopped and walked around and looked at the logistics and thought about ideas and how we can help provide transportation out to those games, it makes a lot of sense. And I think it's going to be a better experience for the fans, just because it's a nicer facility, nicer amenities. And, when I sat back and thought about it, I said, our fans deserve a nice facility for this high level of a team to play in and for them to be able to watch. And so that's how we ended up there. And I'm excited about it. The more I look at it, Fusion, they own that facility, or they manage that facility, in NC Fusion, which I'm a proud board member of. They are, they were great to work with, and they've been very supportive of it. So that's how we ended up there.
Nice. And those that haven't been to Bryant Park, it's a beautiful facility. I mean, the stadium is what, 3,000, 4,000 people?
Yeah, they advertise as 3,000 people.
Yeah,
roughly, so.
and but there's, I think it's like 20-something fields right behind that.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
They've added new turf fields. As a matter of fact, one of the games, the field is scheduled to get some maintenance, so we're going to be playing on the turf field right next to the stadium, which is going to be fine. I was a little apprehensive at first, but then when we walked it, people can still stand on the stadium and look down through the back. There's a nice hill they can sit, and it's going to be a good time. And so, but their facility is really nice.
Nice. So, long term, what are your plans for Burlington United?
Yeah. Long term, so I definitely want to continue to grow the presence of the team. It needs to be seen as, yes, a soccer team, but also a huge advocate, an avenue for service to be done around the city. Community service. We want to be in the communities. We want to help different organizations, especially the Dream Center, with what you all have already been doing, to just amplify that a little bit. We're looking at expanding that. So there's things I want for youth leagues as it ties into the current youth clubs that we have now. I'm not interested in competing with those. That's never been the goal, because we already have some solid things here. I want to help to amplify that and just enhance what they're already doing. And so I think you're going to see that we'll have some other high-level teams that come out from this, that complement the youth teams that are already here. But again, that continue to do the number one thing that I wanted to do with this team, and that's provide access. I want people to have access to good soccer, to dream, to pursue their goals, who may not have the resources, who may not have the ability to get out and do those things.
So when you talk about access, it leads to the next question, as in the cost. What's going to be the cost for an average fan to go to a game?
Yeah, so it has to be affordable. It has to be affordable. One of the things that we have at McPherson that I like is we have options of seating styles. So now you're giving the fan an option to see how do they want to experience the game. So basic tickets are going to be $8 for youth. So any Dream Center child, any child associated with the Dream Center, $8 for the ticket. Burlington Parks and Rec, $8. NC Fusion, $8 for any player. Adults are $10, and then we have premium seating if somebody wants a more comfortable experience for $15. You should be seeing, we'll be seeing in the next few days ticket sales, or season tickets coming out.
Season tickets, okay.
And so again, it needs to be affordable. So I think we're looking at $40 for season tickets, $50 for season tickets for adults. We have some really cool packages as well, where we'll have shirts, scarves, the whole nine that you can get all at once to really enhance the fan experience.
And that was one of my next questions. Also, was the merchandise. Because it's great to see people with the. I think the colorway for Burlington United is also great. And so it opens up the door. Walking through the street, seeing people with a Burlington United jersey. Will that be available for the fans?
Yes, that's going to be available probably within the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
So we've nailed down our sponsors for uniform sponsors. We'll be nailing it down this week. Let me say it that way. And that'll be available online at the game. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do a competition where every Friday, I think I want to find a fan. I was talking to the advisory board, some of the advisory board members, which you are one, so thank you for your service. And it's fun every Friday. Find a fan who's walking around with a Burlington United shirt on, and just a random fan, boom, here's $100. Just randomly, just to help build that excitement and just to show fan appreciation.
Absolutely. That would definitely push the people to wear the jersey all the time. Yeah, and so, do you want to talk about your staff?
Sure.
Who do you have on board?
Yeah, so phenomenal coaches. We're really blessed to have the coaches we have. We have head coach in Diego Walsh, originally from Brazil, grew up in Miami. I think he moved to Miami when he was 14. Played all the way up, got selected 7th pick in the first round of the, I forget which year it was. I want to say 2003 MLS draft. Played at SMU, still holds records there to today. Has played in Thailand, played in Europe, just played all over the place. Really dynamic guy, who's really, really in tune with emotions and the players' emotions, and so very emotionally in control guy, which I really like, because soccer's a passionate sport. Somebody has to be under control, right?
Yeah.
And then we have Mr. Luis as well. He is assistant coach, and he's played in League One of the French league.
Wow,
I mean,
that's awesome.
I mean, he's a local legend,
Yeah.
you know, in places in France as well, and just a very low key guy. He said, "Look, I don't want a lot of attention. Just let me, you know, part-time coach," and he's been a great help.
Yeah.
But it was very important for us to have a local coach as well, and so that's where Cam Brooks come in. Camden Brooks
Can't go better.
Yeah, you can't, man. I mean, he's awesome guy.
Yeah.
He's two-time champion, state champion with Western Alamance. Local guy, represents Burlington. But also we have Jeremy Chris, who's the head coach at Williams and who's a state champion coach as well. And he's been, I have to give him his flowers. He's been absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, my biggest lean on crutch, it's been Jeremy. You know, and I really appreciate all that he's done. And he's even a big supporter of everything. He's a huge soccer guy.
Yeah, I think he supports anything local, because I've heard from him a lot. Hey, Armando, I'm connecting you with such and such person for this and that. And I know Coach Chris for a while. We actually played soccer together in a Sunday league team.
Oh, nice.
When I was back in high school. But he's always been a great guy. He's coached a lot of my friends, you know, and then Cam, some 2 state championships. I mean, and then the girls, I think they're ranked number 1 in the state right now.
He's doing it, and also just a little sneak peek. I plan on playing eventually a WSL team, WPSL.
Nice.
So women's professional premier soccer league, because there's some great female athletes that are playing soccer as well.
Absolutely.
And they're athletes, not even female athletes. There's great athletes, and so you talk about the future look for Burlington United. That's an addition that we're looking at as well. So it's just those. That's kind of our staff. We have Brian Denisar, CEO of Bobbitt and construction, and he's on the advisory board as well. Ed Lassane, supervisor at Toyota. Just some good people. Yolima, you know, she's helping us well, and she's in the social service realm, which is dear to my heart, because that's what I'm involved in as well. And so definitely appreciate those folks. And Mr. Steve Harrison, he's former UNCG guy. He played on UNCG when they won the national championship from the UK. So we have some really.
I met him here 2 weeks ago. I didn't know he coached at UNCG.
He was a player. He came from the UK, and just really involved, really engaged. We're just blessed. We have some really good people attached with us and supporting, and those folks are the reason, as you can. I probably have bags under my eyes. I'm so tired. I've been tired the past 2 weeks, I feel like. But they're the ones who help keep me pushing and encouraged that we're moving in the right direction.
Nice. So one thing I wanted to touch too was how can fans get to games?
Sure. So one of the things, and we've talked a little bit about it, and we're looking into, from an administrative staff, we're looking into providing. We'd love to use the Dream Center as a takeoff point, right, where we provide some vans to get out to Bryant Park, to McPherson Stadium. It's 25-30 minute ride from where we are here. Right next door, and it's with a bypass. It's super easy to get there. So that's what we're looking at, some transportation options for vans. We're looking at buses to see what's available, but we might just have some shuttle vans going. That way people can get there.
That'd be great, man. I can't wait. So the schedule was May 10th, right? First game?
Excuse me. Yes, May 10th is the first game. Sorry. May 10th is the first game at 7:30, McPherson Stadium. We are playing, I believe it's Greenville United. Greenville United. So they have a good team as well. They've done well in the past few years, and but we're from the players that I'm seeing that we're getting, that Diego's been recruiting, and what we've seen at tryouts. I think we have a good chance of being really competitive, really competitive.
So how many home games are we going to get? So
this season, it's going to be a shorter season. So we have 5 home games. Well, 5 regular season home games, and then whatever home games we can generate through playoffs.
Nice.
And so we have that. But in the future, I want to definitely have more than just the 5. But with us having such a short runway window to get started, I wanted to make sure that we had everything in line, so it was appropriate, so the fans have a great experience. And our team is in the best position to perform the way they need to.
Yes, sir. Oh, well, that's great. So as far as like playoffs, I know other leagues they have a neutral site for in case they reach a championship game and so on. How does it work with the NPSL?
Yeah, so with the NPSL, it goes by seeding. So if you're the higher seed, you play at home.
Okay.
And then it goes so you have your conference tournament, then you go to regional, and then from there is national, and it follows the same sequence. I don't believe, I need to double check it, but I don't believe that the national championship game is at a neutral site.
Okay.
I don't want to put the cart before the horse. That's a long way to get there.
Yeah.
Right. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's 90 plus NPSL teams in the nation, and all broken up into regions, and it gets really competitive. I will say the Southeast Conference that we have is probably one of the top conferences. So we're coming into a really strong.
I was looking at that. I think it was Appalachian, right? Made the championship game, I believe, a couple seasons ago or so.
Yeah, they made the championship. Hickory, a brand new team last year that entered the conference, or entered the league last year. They won the conference.
Wow.
You know, so it's top-notch competition out there. And I think this past season, I think it was somewhere around 14 guys that played in NPSL that got drafted.
Wow, nice.
And so again, that's why I'm excited. I mean, there's high competition, and Burlington deserves this.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Nick. We really appreciate you. Is there anything else you would like to add?
I guess I look in the camera, and I would say just your support would mean the world to us. We're putting a lot into this. This is a very, very big thing for Burlington. We have local representation. It's something that we're really passionate about, and so I just ask, hey, support, buy your season tickets. Those will be coming out first. Buy your merch, buy your gear. We're gonna have a lot of good fun, and really represent this community the way it should be.
And well, you mentioned that. One thing I forgot to ask, if there are companies that would like to get involved,
Sure.
you know, have their logo, you know, on the field or anything, how could they do that?
Yeah, if you would just, they can go to the website at burlingtonunitedfc.com. Reach out to me. My number is up there. I mean, I'd be happy to talk to whoever. We are still looking for final jersey sponsors. We've got a few spots left. We have a couple of nice sponsors that I'm going to announce when we're waiting. They have some strategic things they want to do, but we have some good sponsors. But we're always looking for more A-frames. There's a ton of different packages that we can do from that company that wants to really invest a larger number for a bigger advertisement. To those who may be on a smaller budget. So from $500, we'll give you a nice A-frame that's going to be field side, so the fans will see your logo the entire game. To our gold and exclusive members that get, we're going to make commercials for them, and they get a jersey, a custom jersey, and just a lot of great things.
Nice.
So yeah, any support is definitely appreciated. So far, it's been amazing, the support we've been receiving. But we definitely have some financial goals that we need because it goes back to the community.
Right.
There's a ton of service projects that we're doing. And people will see us here working with the kids and doing whatever we can do to help assist you all in your mission. And so that's what it's about. We play here, but we also service here.
Awesome. That's great. Man, I can't wait to be out there, man, the first game.
Yeah, awesome.
So,
awesome.
Yeah,
Can't wait to have you. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you for being with us.
So before I did leave, I brought something for you all in the Dream Center just to show our appreciation for your support and our anticipation of supporting you all in your mission. So,
Yeah.
and this is also the first reveal of this item too.
Oh yeah. All right.
We're excited about it.
All right. You want to hold that in?
Sure.
Show the people. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll make sure we have it out here so everybody can see.